Hi guys, it's Kevin here from Hunting and Meat again. Today I want to show you the brand new Hyundai i30 N-Line. I want to show you everything this car has to offer inside and out. We're going to have a look on the inside, we're going to have a look under the bonnet, we're going to eventually take it for a test drive to check the car's practicality and the fuel consumption of the vehicle. Now guys, starting from the front, I'm loving the design that the N-Line package is actually given to the i30. It's a much more sportier, sleek look. I'll draw your attention here to the blacked out grille and the N-Line emblem just jumping out at you there. Now it also has the dynamic daytime running lights. Now I'm using the word dynamic because they also function as your indicators, which I think is pretty sweet. Now guys, if you follow me to the side of the vehicle, you'll see these beautiful 17-inch N-Line alloys. Now they're wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tyres, which are well built and well gripped. Coming up here to the wing, you can see the black gloss contrasting mirrors with integrated indicators. And as we come around to the back here, as you can see, one of the things that actually does jump out at you is the cleverly designed tail lights, the wrap around. Now just above here, you can see the gloss black spoiler with the third brake light actually integrated into it. Now, taking you down to the bottom here, we have the beautiful matte black diffuser with the twin exhaust. Now, also, I think worth mentioning is, the boot space with 395 litres is pretty handy in regards to, you've got your hooks for your shopping and stuff like that. You've got your 12-volt socket. And what doesn't actually come with a lot of cars these days, which I thought was pretty handy, is under the floor, you're getting a spare tyre too. And everything you need to change it, just in case you're unfortunate enough to be in that situation. The i30 N-Line comes exclusively with a 1 litre turbo petrol engine, giving it 120 brake horsepower and 127 newton meters of torque, making it a very smooth ride. Now, the engine is coupled with a 6-speed manual gearbox, and drawing your attention down here to the gear lever, we have this aluminium metal look that only comes with the N-Line. Again, really attractive. Now, it's wrapped around with leather and this beautiful red stitching here. Now, the stitching following up through the steering wheel, again wrapped in leather, gives it that nice feel, that nice grip. And again, coming into the sport seats, which are pretty sweet. You've got the red stitching coming all through them. You've got that comfort, you've got that kind of wraparound feel as well, almost like a bucket seat. Now guys, before we take off, let me draw your attention to the infotainment system. We have an 8-inch touchscreen monitor, obviously coming with your Apple and your Android CarPlay, which is pretty handy if you have a look here. Also, you've got your radio system, which again, we all need from time to time. But what I thought was really nifty about this was, if I throw this car into reverse, this is giving you the guidelines where you need to go, because you've got that all important reverse camera. So as I turn the wheels here, you can see the guidelines turning, and again, they're coloured to tell you that, you're getting too close, or you have more room, you have more space. Okay folks, so I have just pulled out of the showroom. I've reset the trip meter. So let's go for a little spin and see how it handles. So we have just left the dealership, and I have to be fair, it's surprisingly very smooth and very comfortable. Now, I've just gone through a couple of roundabouts, a little bit faster than you normally would, or the average driver would, but it's important to point out that it was done safely and it was controlled. Now, to be fair, at the speed I went through, with the flat base and the suspension and everything designed how it is, the car kind of cornered like it was on rails. Extremely comfortable sticking to the road. Now obviously, look, it's not an SUV, it's a hatchback. That's making it a little bit more comfortable. With these sport type bucket seats also, they're kind of holding you in place because you've got the bollards kind of coming around you at your sides. On the seats, we have to point out as well that you've got electrically controlled lumbar support. Now, to be fair, if you're anything like me, your back is going to thank you for that. The gear shifting is actually fairly smooth. It's kind of got that nice kind of feel to it. So as I go from third to fourth right now, just slipping nicely, sitting nicely, and keeping that smooth run. Let me draw your attention to the steering wheel. Okay, I'm in love with this steering wheel. It's wrapped in a beautiful perforated leather. And I mean, obviously you've got your controls at the wheel, everything at a finger touch away. It's absolutely beautiful to the hand. It's a lovely, lovely feel. Now, obviously, everything you touch on a daily basis within the car is leather wrapped, is comfortable. But I mean, clearly there is plastics in the car, as there is in every car. But everything you're touching, from the steering wheel to the gear lever, is wrapped in beautiful, beautiful leather. So that's making it that much nicer to touch and giving it that little bit of an extra luxurious kind of feel and sporty kind of feel. Guys, I really don't believe you're going to find anything as good with a quality as high at this price range. Now, behind the wheel, you've got the traditional analog dials here, okay, all in the cluster. Between both dials, obviously you've got the onboard computer. Now that's giving you your fuel consumption, your driver alert system, it's giving you your attention level. You can actually change, for those of us who like to cross the border or drive across the pond, for example, you can change from kilometers to miles per hour, which, let's face it, is pretty nifty, you know, and it helps us stick within the legal, safe road limits too. Now, the driver alert system, which I think is a fantastic piece of technology, what it actually does is it monitors your attention level as you're driving. So the car in itself is monitoring your driving habits, and it's able to tell you just exactly how alert you are on the road. This car with this technology is keeping you and everyone else around you on the road as safe as possible. So we're just approaching the motorway now, and I want to see how this car handles on the build up of speed and with motorway speed. So I'm going to drop it down to third gear and see how it goes. Okay, so obviously the motorway speeds is 120. Okay, third gear, we're at 80. Into fourth, 90. Okay, it's actually not bad, it's quite impressive. Fourth gear, 100 kilometers an hour. 110. Fifth gear, 120. Now, obviously, it is a hatchback and the climb is slow compared to what other bigger cars would be, but keep in mind that it's actually fast for the size of the engine. That's where, you know, the 1 litre turbo petrol engine kind of kicks in. It's climbing very, very well. I'm at a steady 120, no problems. It's nice and quiet. Obviously you've got the sound of the tarmac, that can't be helped, but other than that, nice quiet engine. It's nice and smooth. Also now, while I'm on the motorway, I'm eager to check out the cruise control on this car. Obviously because I'm not used to hatchbacks having it, so I want to see how it works. Now, on the steering wheel here, just to the right hand side, you've got the mode button, so it's pretty handy. You just kind of drop the thumb with the finger there and press it to activate it. So I'm going to bring her back to 100 kilometers, just keep it done safely, and we can watch how it goes from there. So I'm going to press the mode button, okay, and it's activated. Now that's activated at 96 kilometers an hour. I've brought it back further than what I said I would. I'm going to just use this little flicker switch under the mode button with the plus and minus, and I'm going to push it up to 100 kilometers an hour. And there we go, 100k, just slightly over 2,000 RPMs, nice and steady. So I'm on my long motorway journey, I've got my cruise control activated, and I'm finding myself in a situation where I'm coming among trucks, tractors, slower vehicles. So obviously I need to deactivate this and reactivate it. But in this car, which I think is actually pretty handy, you've actually got a pause button just under your flicker switch. So we'll hit the pause button. That'll deactivate your cruise control. You can slow it down, you can speed it up, do what you need to do, take whatever maneuver you need to take to get around the vehicles or allow those vehicles to get around you. Now, I'm going to build up speed a little bit here, just to kind of give you an example. Okay, so I've got it at 110. Now remember, when I was in cruise control, I had it at 100, so I'm going to unpause it, by pressing the pause button again, and it'll go straight to the 100 kilometers an hour that I originally had it on. The one thing I do also love is the lane keeping assist. Okay, so I'm gonna, while there's no vehicles around me or near me, I'm gonna safely show you how this works. So I'm gonna loosen up on the wheel and let the car slide slightly to the middle of the road, and there you go, it's keeping me in the center lane. It's also screaming at me and telling me to keep my hands on the steering wheel, but this car is staying in its lane. Now obviously I'm going to be safe and grab the wheel again, but the lane keeping assist, in my opinion, is a massive lifesaver. I want to explain a bit about the air conditioning. Now, it's pretty standard and it's pretty simple, which I think is kind of sweet. I like simple. Nothing wrong with simple. Sometimes simple is good. You've got your analog dials, okay, which, you know, anybody can use. There's no complications in it whatsoever. Your temperature adjustment, and again your AC. Now with that, you can throw your air conditioning on from here, touch of a button. You can throw your front and their back demisters on. Now it's important to point out also that with your demisters, okay, we've got heated wing mirrors rather, I beg your pardon. We've got heated wing mirrors, which is handy because we all know, especially in Ireland, you get up for work, frosty morning, windscreen's frosted, wing mirrors are frosted, and it can be a pain. These cars, touch of a button and it's gone. That's it, plain and simple. Again, just another way that the i30 N-Line is doing the work for you. And underneath the air conditioning and the unit here, you've got the two 12-volt sockets, you've got the USB port, and you've also got a nice nifty little wireless charging pad right about here, and there it is, right there. Okay guys, so we're back at the dealership now. Okay, now to be fair, I need to point out that I wasn't exactly eco driving. So we did some motorway driving, you know, we did some climbing the speed safely, obviously. You know, we did some cruising, we did cruise control, and I can honestly say that I'm pretty impressed with the fuel economy and the consumption. Okay, we averaged 6.4 litres per 100 kilometres. Now I don't know about you, but that's pretty impressive. And in today's economy, it's pretty handy. This is the car for anyone, given the way things are going at the minute, fuel costs and so on. Everybody needs this car. Absolutely beautiful drive, fantastic consumption, fantastic handling. Some things are simple, some things are advanced. This car is A1 in my books. Guys, thanks for watching. Please, if you want any more information, click the link below, and don't forget to subscribe and like the channel for more updates, more reviews and more videos.